Well, what's up? What's up? It is time for me to turn this reverberation down again. It's Wednesday, 8 o'clock, 8:15. Hold on, let me get my mic. All right. Can you hear me out there now?
Yeah, but I hear you a whole lot less over here.
Yeah. I don't know why I got an echo.
Oh, that's on me. My fault. My fault. I'll fix it.
Yeah, I'll fix this echo in a minute.
All right.
Whenever I
No
fix
more
it.
echo. There you go.
Okay, so it's Wednesday, 8:15. Man, it's so good to be out here at the Lantern Street Grill and Tap House in Plano, Texas. Man, I had a really good conversation with Ryan Fowler today on the game, and we're really diving into Alabama and just the secondary woes and all the stuff that's going on because it kind of got torched by Tennessee. And we're going to dive into that pretty heavy tonight a little bit, along with some defensive schemes. We got, if you can see right here to my left, got a very special guest with me, Tony Dixon, my man, Alabama great, also played with the Cowboys. I think he spent a year up in with the Commanders.
A short time with the
You know,
Commanders.
I don't know who that is. Clapping for that team. Well, hopefully, clapping for the Cowboys. This light ring makes it so bright I can't see over there
Right.
on who's doing it. But it is it's absolutely wonderful to have him here. So we're going to talk a little bit about his career at Alabama. Talk to him about the defensive secondary at Alabama as well, and maybe even some Cowboy things because a lot of this stuff kind of relates since Alabama plays a lot of pro style um, defenses as well. Got to find out what he's up to, what's going on now. I've heard he's got a good venture going on. Who was that I was talking to? Marvin Constant.
Yep.
I don't know how y'all hooked up or what
Hey.
that's all about, but
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
Lord, whatever. Um, so y'all sit tight with us for a little bit, um, and then we'll dive right into this. But first, I want to go ahead and JT pointed out something to me earlier today, and I didn't know about it. It's about Jermaine Burton and him. I don't know if he hit the girl, shoved the girl, pushed the girl, or whatever it
Definitely
was.
touched the girl.
Yeah, he touched the girl, and it was it's just strange to me, man, on how the world of sports is becoming so sensitive. I guess I could say you just had Devontae Adams push a cameraman down, had Kyler Murray get hit in the face by some fan. As much as we want to do interaction, and that's why we like to be out here at a bar or a restaurant or something to be up and close, personal with the fans. But it seems like something always happens to go wrong,
Yeah.
and you got to be drinking, right? It just something's always happening, and I don't know if that's just our culture or what it is, but it just seems so different to me. Tony, maybe it's always been that way. I don't know. Don't answer that yet because I want to bring JT in because I'm sure he has something to do with it too. So I didn't get the full video of it. I just saw that. I'm not pointing any fingers because I don't know the whole story or anything. I just saw him walking off the field. The girl had the camera, and for whatever reason, he decided to try to. I'm assuming he tried to knock the camera out of her hand or something. I
Yeah.
don't know. But whatever NIL money he got is probably gone.
Right. Right. Right.
So I don't know, or it's going to be gone. Well, behind the scenes, he's not showing his face right now. We got to pull him in. My son,
Hey, you know,
JT.
you know, technically, you're not showing your face either. The computer is in the way of your face.
Oh yeah, I guess we really don't even need to see you until you change the camera. Just when I go on the board, you probably want to change to my computer camera because it looks a little bit better on the
Okay, yeah, I
whiteboard.
can do that.
Okay. All right. How about that, JT? A
Yep,
little bit better.
much better. You
Okay.
don't have a reflection or nothing. We're good.
All right. Sweet.
All
So
right.
then, what about? I want to hear from y'all about just the culture of the stuff. It don't have to be specifically about Jermaine Burton or something else. But I'll ask you, Tony, first. What's going on with the people, the fans, the players? What do you think?
George, I really think the big thing that's going on. I don't think much has changed. Actually, I think the difference is now that you don't have a chance to censor it. Everything now is real time. We did not have social media. We didn't deal with FaceTime. I mean, heck, man, we were just coming out of the pager era, right? so the idea of iPhones and real time, not giving your PR department an opportunity to address circumstances. I mean, it's changed things. And not only that, you have people that are they're opportunistic. They're looking for those opportunities to catch you in those situations so they can be their own version of TMZ. By no means am I, again, it's alleged what he done. I've seen clips of it. From the video I've seen, I really can't get a good gauge of what happened. I don't know what she may have said to him. But in reality, I know there's several things that happen to us as athletes that never made it to the newspaper.
True.
Right? From those small Crown Royal bottles that used to be thrown at our heads, from stuff being poured on us, to our family, having stuff thrown at them and being spit on and all that. None of that made the airways back in the days, right? Because number one, whomever we were working with in that organization did not want to make that organization and their fans look bad, nor did they want to be put us to be put in that situation. So I so a long way of saying, I think right now is the uncensorship and the real time nature of being able to show your version of the truth is taking over.
Well put, my man. Well put, my man. JT, you got anything to piggyback off of that? I mean, you're heavily involved with high school football. Now I don't know if you hear what people say in the stands or if you can hear it. Do you wear a single earpiece or a double earpiece?
I wear a single earpiece.
Okay, so you probably can't hear.
You can hear it then.
You definitely can hear it, right? Yeah. So you got any opinion on this one way or the other?
Well, first, Terry Martin is absolutely correct. Social media hadn't been invented yet the last time Tennessee beat Bama. That is correct. Tennessee beat Bama in 2006. The last time Tennessee beat Alabama, the first iPhone had not even been invented.
That is awesome.
I have to open the screen back up so we can see the comments. So sorry.
I'll read them. I'll read them for you. Put your screen back down because now you got a glare on your aluminum. Yeah, there you go. I'll read them out for you if need be. But yeah, on the social media piece, I think you would think that somebody the age of Jermaine Burton, well, I would say you'd think you'd know that just like cameras are everywhere. Like Draymond, like come on, man. Somebody got a camera everywhere. But in this case, it's even like more egregious since
after the game, man.
Well, you recognize that she was recording you. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you forgot about the presence of external cameras, the thing that you went and reached for was a camera. Like,
so is he gonna get suspended or what? I know he got arrested. I don't know if the NCAA can even get involved in this or just
just let me throw my piece in about the NCAA. If the NCAA does anything to Jermaine Burton, I'm going to be highly upset, considering they said they couldn't do anything about the things that were happening at Baylor. That would be absolutely insane if they went after Jermaine Burton for whatever he did and then just told Baylor, like, hey, man, all the sexual assault stuff is out of our jurisdiction. That would be ridiculous. Saban did already talk about it, and he said things will be done, which means I don't know. I don't know if that means that he's in the doghouse now. I guess time will tell.
I just hope someone else starts anyway because he hadn't showed up yet.
Wow.
Right.
Off the field.
Now
Anyway.
the thing that was interesting, and I can't show it obviously, but if you go back and you look at the Instagram video that she had, because you can't really tell like what happened, but she did get the phone back up quick enough to where like those last two frames, you can see three people whatever he did, it was enough for 3 people, they look like males, try to remove Jermaine Burton away from the situation. That was one of those things, where if you were sitting right where you're sitting right now and you just saw somebody punch somebody in front of you in the bar, the first thing you would do is get up and try to like split the two up. And
Right.
it seems like that is what happened quickly. Well, Tony says no, I wouldn't. But
He out the door. He better not get involved.
Right
Remember
over
that
there.
commercial? Anybody here old enough to remember that commercial? Better not get involved.
That's me. No.
You mess around, get hit, then you swing.
Come on, man. Former Alabama and Cowboy.
That's the only
player,
thing that's
Tony
gonna happen.
Dixon,
Huh?
no, sir.
Story get turned around.
Man,
Right.
Wasn't even you.
Wasn't even me.
So,
me.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what's going to come of that situation. Definitely not a good look. But at the same time, this is exactly why those fines are in place. On why schools get fined when students rush the field for things just like this. Jermaine Burton is definitely not the first person to hit a fan, and he won't be the last.
Yeah, I need to see the other side of that video. What I saw, it didn't look like a punch.
Yeah, at first I was
I
kind of
mean,
like, it just it looked like he was trying to knock the camera out of her hand.
Like a tap, if anything. Okay, well, we got some people in here saying it wasn't a tap, so all right.
It don't matter.
Well, I think the bottom line is keep your hands to yourself. You had
know.
60 minutes to assault anybody you wanted to in the color orange, and you didn't do that.
You gotta break it down. He may have only had 15 plays, man.
Well, it's just unfortunate because
It
when
is.
this happens, people are just like, I'm not saying this, everybody does this. It's just you're too vulnerable. You're a star.
Yeah.
How much money is Devontae Adams going to have to give up for the shove of this guy? This person said he got whiplash, concussion, broke ribs, whatever.
Yeah.
Now he's probably going to be scarred, can't ever go to a football game again.
He got charged with felony assault, so that's not great.
Yeah, so well, he's not even going to want to take photos anymore. He's going to be good.
Yeah, it just brings up so many different variables that really shouldn't even be brought up in the course of a game such as that. Now you got to look and say what is NCAA going to do in terms of people that are rushing the field? What ownership do they have in terms of
no security? That's a good point.
Well, see, the NCAA actually doesn't put in those rules about rushing the field. The conference does.
Or the school,
Yeah.
right?
So is $100,000 enough to fine them?
No.
All the people that came
they
on?
got a GoFundMe account for their goalpost, man.
That's crazy.
Come on.
I can't believe they actually asked for some money.
Yes, they did.
Did you see the comments on that? When somebody did the research on how much those goalposts cost, and they were getting flamed? No, they found out that the goalpost cost $5,700.
Come on, man. No way.
And they talk about they're cheap. I was talking to your mom about this. She was like, well, they came on there and broke it. They should be fundraising and getting it back. I was like, no, that it's the university. They got enough money laying around.
Dude, they made enough money in concessions to put 2 goalposts back in.
There's a donor out there that will write that check for them.
Oh yeah, easily.
And they can get $7 nachos. That's right.
Shoot, Tennessee last year they bought $5,700 worth of mustard into the stadium just to throw at Lane Kiffin.
Well,
That's probably fair.
maybe they should get some checkered goalposts. That would be kind of cool. Be ugly, but it'd be different.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we have to talk about that though. At everything though, yeah, it still takes away from, regardless of, at the end of the day, Tennessee won the game. What you and I know is that rivalry in October was always a thing for us, and to be on the side of the team that has the winning streak or the side of the team that has a losing streak, just the same at all. That game to me was more competitive than I wanted that game more than I even wanted the Auburn game.
So I was talking about this last week, and I don't know if they were still doing it or if they're still doing it now, but Well, they playing the good old Rocky Top song in the locker
Man,
room all
were
day,
they?
blaring it, and
In the indoor practice facility and all
Yeah.
that, just so we get used to the crowd noise. Man, I hate Rocky Top. I mean, no, it's not many things in life I hate, but I hate that
oh,
song.
that week, man, 4 years worth of that. Of good old Rocky Top.
Woo! I hate it.
Oh man!
And not to mention my freshman year of school at Alabama was Peyton Manning's senior year. So that clip that they always show, I was there watching him direct the freaking band. So
man.
that makes it even worse.
Well, how many times did you beat them every time?
No, 0-4.
Good Lord.
0-4. So I was a part of that group. I think they went on a 7-year streak during the late 90s into the 2000s, and I was a part of that the front side of that.
Oh, Nightbot catching another body. Hey, don't worry about Nightbot with Will Sports. It's all right. I keep forgetting to turn it off.
Well, he doing he putting all caps in, or was he
the emojis. Too many emojis. Hey, we don't like that. Nightbot doesn't like to have fun in the chat.
So everyone always wants to know about this. Let's talk about this first, about your draft day experience. I'm watching the NFL draft now. It's like big showcase. They're coming on red. It take 10 minutes to get from the back room to get drafted. Where were you? I was in Atlanta at a bar at Frankie's. Where were you, and how'd yours go?
So I was at home, and honestly, I was projected to go day 2. So I watched I think of like the first 12, 13 picks. And quite candidly, this is going to predate myself as well. I started playing a Dreamcast, dude. Like who remembers the Dreamcast, right? So
I heard about it.
Right. I know you don't remember, JT. So I actually went and was playing the Dreamcast. Was getting a call from my agent every now and then, but quite candidly, I stopped paying attention. I was at home, no fanfare, no nothing, no cameras, and got the call. Yeah, I know, right? Got the phone call, and Jerry called and made that reel, and hearing his voice, I'm like, oh wow, okay, so we're serious. I didn't even know what point of the draft we were in at that point. Right?
Like, whoa, is it?
Yeah, I'm like, wait, is where am I? So, but no, my year was 2001, and the first safety taken that year was Adam Archuleta. So you remember that?
Oh wow.
Yeah, so he was the first safety taken. After that, it was Derek Gibson out of Florida State, and then it was Idris Bashir out of Memphis that went to the Colts. And then I was the fourth safety pick that year.
That's how I know you're a smart guy, because I can't tell you what DBs went before me.
hey, I was so freaking competitive, man. That at that point, I had to make it a point to say, hey, I'm gonna try to go out there and play so good that the teams regret they didn't draft me. Mm-hmm. Right. So I was in that mode. But that's the same year that Vic was the first pick of the draft. Drew Brees was in that draft. That's a notable name. Drew was in that draft that year. Yeah. Right. So we still had a pretty solid draft class. A lot of good players coming out of that, but definitely for a lot of teams, that 2001 draft was a rebuild draft.
Hey, we got a question. We have 2 questions in the queue. One of them I'm gonna come back to once we get back into the Tennessee stuff. But we've got one here from Kerry Williams that asks, "How important is an agent?"
Wow, that's pretty. I think I would love to know how important an agent is today. Like I would say in our time, I feel like an agent was extremely important, because the true definition of an agent, they could actually go and do. We were local stars,
right,
in our high schools, right? And then obviously, with George is on a whole nother level of celebrity, right? He has memorable plays on every level that he's ever played on, right? Let's bring this up, right? Let's bring this up. And most people know him for the Terrell Owens thing, but look at this, right? And that's after 9/11, right? And the old Texas Stadium. Anyway, During that time, we really needed that agent to go out there and promote who we are, promote our brand,
Yeah.
and really get, because we did not have social media. Now I'm really questioning how important an agent is early in the career, because most of these players already have millions of fans and followings, right? So they're bringing value to an organization. Where back in our days, we used to talk about the value that we could potentially bring to the organization.
Yeah, it's a negotiate, and I don't. They're still sliding people in the slots on the first when you're first going in. You
Right.
kind there's a little bit of wiggle room, not a whole lot, right?
Right.
That you're going to make. You're going to get about. I don't know what the formula is. They're taking last year's deal, give you about
It's
2% increase or
It's
something.
inflation, right?
And,
But the key thing is if somebody signed before you that's under you, it sets a different baseline.
yeah, that's why everybody waiting.
That everybody waiting to see who's going to be the first person, because that's going to be the worst contract out there.
But see, I'm wondering if that was asked because of Lamar Jackson.
The question was asked because there was a follow up. Kerry says, seems like the salary is sort of set now. So it seems like the intent is you don't really need one because the CBA already determines what you're going to get paid on your first contract anyway.
Well, I think the reality of that one is that's where the power of the negotiation and the skill of the agent comes into play, right? So yeah, it is pretty much set based on where you get drafted. You have a good idea of what that baseline number is going to be. Now, there's other intangibles that you can negotiate and turn into the contract.
Your incentives,
exactly.
the
How do
back
you
end stuff.
How do you want the incentives? How do you want to be paid? Do you want to hold off a certain pay? Right.
That's right.
So those are the things, like how much guaranteed, like how much of this is going to be guaranteed. Are you putting some performance based things into your contract?
Right.
These are all the things that agent of an experienced agent can bring in terms of value, and then you tack on the fact that that agent has other players on that team. Now he's bringing the value of his portfolio to that organization. Right?
And it could hurt you not having it. And I can say that even from I had an agent, but I still feel like I missed on some stuff later after knowing, because it was a younger agent or newer agent, not quite as savvy as some of the rest that I decided to go with. I'm looking at percentage too, because they're looking, hey, they're going to take a certain percentage of your contract. And I was like, I can take a different guy. Maybe someone new helped me get in the step, but I also went a different route. He wasn't just a negotiator. He was going to be our family attorney. He was going to do my marketing stuff. It built in my contract with him was, finding signings and extra monies. That was he was a marketing firm / and so I ended up talking to more people like that, other than just someone to go negotiate. Now, the second time when I got a different agent, it was really just all try to get me the best contract out of the.
And what was the name of the person that brought the question again?
Kerry Williams.
Yeah, Kerry, thanks for the question. I'm.
Are they 10%? Another question from Kerry. Are they 10% guys? Where you paid them 10%? What's the?
Oh, heck no! Ain't nobody 10%.
Nah, you're like 2, 3. You got to get down to 1.5.
We are not tithing at church, man. What are you talking about, man? No.
And Justin wants to know, how come you didn't just promote on your MySpace?
Wow.
Should have known Justin was going to say something.
Justin, it was collegeclub.com, brother. Come on now.
Oh gosh, that's a good one. Oh, MySpace.
That's a real good one.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know, man. It just the money now is just so different too.
But George, you know this. Like, was it more value in the agent for the long-term contracts? See, I didn't get the chance to play ball in that. You did. So I would think it's more value when you get your extended
the second
contracts.
one. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely, 100%.
Yeah,
because now you're speaking with a whole lot of different teams.
Yeah.
If you're hitting the free agent market or something else, now it's everybody's trying to get you somehow. And I can see it being a pretty big deal now with the way what you hit on, or I don't know if it's JT that said about the guaranteed money and trying to get as much up front as possible.
Yeah, on your first contract, you got to get that as much up front as possible and get as many guarantees. That's what I do like about the contracts now. Guarantees was non-existent for us. So the idea of having guaranteed clauses in the contract now is definitely something that I don't know if it it will be interesting to know with the players now. Does that limit some of the stress that we had, knowing that one play could be the end and you have nothing left?
Yeah, it limits stress because you can even see how they play. They get about 2 more games in and they done. Their hamstrings hurt for the rest of the.
No, their hamstring hurt because they don't do nothing in training camp.
That's another one.
Oh, here we go.
I've been saying that about that because
we'll skip that, but the injuries.
No, we didn't. Let's go ahead and hit on it a little bit because I want to know how you feel about it. Because I think I understand that we try to save our bodies, but I just think you're just pushing the injuries back into the regular season because you're not doing preseason. Man. You're not playing these guys at all, so they try to go full speed game one.
I mean, this is probably not the best analogy, but I've never seen a boxer go into a match without sparring.
Okay. That is a good analogy.
It may not be the best because at the end of the day, people call that one of the most barbaric sports out there, right? But
we're probably number 2.
We dang there. We're close, right? So I do think there's a certain element of building yourself up and conditioning your body to be able to withstand certain things, right? Yes. And I don't care what profession you go in, any profession that is physically worthy of you going through a training and you building up, you go through a process of getting your body conditioned to deal with it. The players that we have today are not conditioned to deal with the fast twitch aspect and the physicality of the game that we used to that we had.
All right.
And it's less physical today. Ain't nobody, you don't have no Jerome Bettis coming downhill like we had to deal with, man.
I think he the one that hurt my shoulder.
I mean, actually, you got Derrick Henry though.
Terrell Davis. Terrell Davis hurt my shoulder.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, he's an anomaly, but he runs straight up too. Right. So I'm not saying that's easier, but my point is
target.
That's a bigger target, right? I'm gonna go for them shoestrings or some of that dude. But
right.
I'm talking about cats used to come for your head.
So check this out, man. I gotta ask this because I didn't know this, so I was reading up on you a little bit more. You used to play running back. It looked like you were pretty good as a running back.
Yeah, man.
Oh, well, this is so. Forgive my ignorance then, because I'm sitting here. I was like, yeah, he clearly a running back. I guess that's not the case.
No, he's a defensive back. He's a safety.
Yes. Yeah, so I actually was recruited more for offense than defense.
Yeah. So how did this transition come to you being a defensive back?
He couldn't catch.
Bill Oliver.
He said you can't.
Bill Oliver. No, JT. That changed later on in life, but you got to practice what you preach, right? But no, Bill Oliver, man. I went to Alabama football camp, and that's when they still had Homer Smith, Bill Oliver, Gene Stallings, all the cats were there. He was actually the first person to start talking to me about defense. Like I played both ways in high school. I was from a small high school, so I played both ways, but my heart and passion was in offense, quite candidly. But he used the examples of you and Langham and all the other guys and even some of the guys that were in the league at that point and said, like, look, you're going to make, there's a lot of people that want to play offense, but there's very few people that can be on defense and be successful at it. And with your size and the fact that you're going to grow a little bit more, you might want to consider that. Man, he just sold me into it. And then I started watching additional film and, and I just gravitated to defense at that point and just said, man, at that point, I didn't like hitting people, much less, coming downhill and playing 10 middle, which we played at Alabama, right? But no, that's what changed. Like Bill Oliver, I give him all the credit on changing my perspective.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to see Bill. I'll have to. So he's going to come back for our 30-year reunion. So this is our 30-year reunion this weekend at the Mississippi State game, and I did see his name on the list, so I'm definitely going to have to point that out.
Yeah, man. Let him know. He said, hey, make them hips loose as a goose, Tony.
Did he used to cuss you out?
Man, did he? Now, he never coached me, though. He never coached me.
Oh.
So that's the other thing. So that's why I almost ended up at Auburn. Because remember, he went to Auburn.
That's right.
So when Gene Stallings retired, my first position coach was actually Curly Hallman, who used to be the LSU coach. So that was my first position coach. And then after that, it was Charlie Harbison that came in with Ellis Johnson as the D coordinator.
Oh, Ellis Johnson.
Yes, sir.
Ellis Johnson.
Yeah, so.
Okay. Couple more questions, then I want to get into football.
Yeah.
Out of the receivers that were on the Alabama roster when you were there, who was the one that was hardest to cover? You had some good ones there.
Yeah, man. Shoot. Overall, the hardest to cover, I think when he was the most injury free, and this I hate to even say it because I'm gonna piss some people off. Jesus Christ!
We
Man,
won't tell him.
why are you gonna ask me that
Yeah,
question?
we won't tell
You know
him.
what I'm saying? Let's talk about NFL or something. Let's not get into like my brothers. You're trying to get me in trouble, man.
I can tell you who mine was. Mine was David Palmer.
Okay.
We had some really good receivers, but trying to cover him and tackle him was like trying to tackle Barry Sanders.
Yes.
It didn't matter what you did.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, really, Freddie Millins.
No, okay. I was going to be upset if you didn't.
Now,
say
Freddie
that,
Millins was that kid, man. I wish things would have worked out different for him, but he was a true talent for sure.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, then what
so
about
here? Hold on. Here's a one real quick, just because you get this all the time.
Okay.
But I'm gonna ask you, or this one's for George because I know he gets this all the time. The question is from Terry Martin. Could you cover Dabo?
What?
I didn't even go in when Dabo was. He's that guy that you were like someone else go. You know, there's that one guy that I don't want to waste
We're
a
good.
rep. Yeah, you go ahead.
No, you know what happened on this one, JT? He will look at a person like me. Rook.
Yeah, go get him.
Yeah, go get him.
Oh,
man. I'm
man.
not wasting my time.
Yeah, yes, I could cover Dabo. I jam him up. All you had to do was press Dabo. He wasn't very fast. He
wasn't fast.
No,
Until
he
it's
couldn't
called
run.
like it is.
He, real definitive with his routes. You knew what his cuts were going to be. If he's going to run the dig, he's going to go in, up, chop at the top, go. So yes, making a noise and all that. Man, what are you doing?
Yeah, see, I don't mind talking about somebody like Dabo. Man. That's fun. Yeah, we can talk about. He was a GA when I was in school.
Oh man, I'm telling you, man, that was a easy one. Yeah, it was trying to cover the Kevin Lee's.
Oh yeah, Kevin Lee. K. Lee was
K. Lee was really good. He was fat. He was the one that actually gave me the fear because of the speed.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. I would line up 8 yards off, and he just had. He's like Joey Galloway and those guys.
He was deceptive to me, man.
He just go, don't even like he moving that fast,
yeah.
like Randy Moss or something, and then all of a sudden, by you.
Yeah, you had CB too, right?
They did have Curtis Brown.
Curtis Brown.
Prince Wembley probably get mad because I didn't say he was like the toughest to cover.
Wembley.
Yeah. But he talked so much noise, so you just wanted to get up in his face.
Yeah.
And do his stuff. But yeah, Dabo, I didn't worry about Dabo at all. And he knows it because I've said it to him recently, as a matter of fact.
And you asking me like NFL guy, right? That's not, I mean, without a doubt, I mean, I gotta say T.O., man. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. We played against some other receivers, Isaac Bruce, all those cats. We played against all those, right? So, but I would think like, if you think about what we thought David Boston was going to be when he came out there oiled up and yoked up. T.O. was all of that plus a mix of all the other good receivers that I came across.
He could run all the routes.
He was extremely physical. He didn't run, and he talked a lot of noise, man. So, but what I would say, I think the most impressive thing for me was the first freaking OTA when I lined up on the field. On the left was Rocket Ishmael. On the right was Joey Galloway.
That's
you cannot prepare for that speed.
That's speed, boss.
You could not. That was my introduction into NFL in that OTA when those guys lined up that day. Man, I was shining during that rookie camp. Man, when the vets came in, man, them jokers was on me so fast, man. I said, "Oh my God, is everybody this fast?"
When I saw Joey do single leg squat with 315 pounds on it, that was enough.
Yeah, no, different breeds, man. Different breeds.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a good one. Well, me and T.O. are pretty good friends, right?
Y'all had made up.
Not.
Hey, you know what? That should be. Think about like a reunion of Teague and T.O. coming together, man. Y'all should do something about it. Y'all too old to be still having problems. Come on, man.
I don't have problems. That's why I don't even bring this picture. I'm gonna bring this picture over here. What's my man name right there? Mike. Come on up here, man. I want to give you one of these pictures. Because where'd you drive from to come out here? I know you know a lot of guys. So he got that nice little truck out here. Hand me that picture right there. I'm gonna sign it for you. And and give it to you. So he's got a nice fancy cowboy truck, pickup truck outside. Got flags all on it. Got a picture of Drew Pearson,
Man,
Michael Irvin on it. Man, it's decked out.
You know what, George? I tell all these kids because they go through this, they got Zeke and Dak, and because of what I told you, the story with my ties with Michael and Drew, I got Super Bowls on my hood.
Oh,
that they gave me.
on the hood. Okay, nice.
Because I got a son who's my youngest. He said, Dad, how long did it take Grandpa to see a Super Bowl? Almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Dad, how long did it take you to witness your first Super Bowl? Not 10 years. Dad, how long did it take my older brother to witness his first Super Bowl?
Ooh.
Not 10 years.
No,
Yeah.
Dad,
here, switch seats with
You
me.
know, switch seat. All right.
I'm JT. We're good. I know we got about.
Yeah, we have.
We got some questions. Go ahead and put them in.
Yeah. Okay. So first question for Tony. Oh, hold on. Not that one. Not that one. This one. Who is the biggest trash talker on your Bama defense?
The biggest trash talker on my Bama defense. It would have been Kenny Smith, man. He was a D tackle. He ended up, I think Kenny got drafted to the Saints. Yeah, so Kenny Smith was the biggest trash talker.
Okay. And then for both of you, I don't know if you actually have an answer for this, but how much NIL money would you be worth today? $6 and a bag of chips, because nobody wants a 50-year-old safety.
No, I think I would have been okay because someone would have been a genius like what's the guy's name? Chris Berman, who gave me the name Ice Teague.
Yeah.
I think I could have had a deal with some kind of ice company, even though he called me. So my nickname in college though was Mr. Glue.
Okay.
So I probably could have had something with Elmer's or something.
Yeah.
In dollars and cents though, I mean, you got to remember we were buying 2 liters for 89 cents. Gas was still 89 cents.
That's true. And payphone was
90.
a quarter.
there was payphones. We had bag phones. Bag phones were probably out by the time you came around to college.
Oh, it was out in high school, man. Come on now.
Yeah, okay.
I'm a little older than that.
Okay. I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't know.
I rocked the bag phone in my car.
You know what, JT? Before I get on this board, I've been thinking about this. Do you know how small of a city or how country of a city do you have to be in for your name of your high school to have county in it? Imagine if you went to Denton County High School
Hold on, man.
or something like that. You know what I mean? What?
Your high school didn't have county in it. Don't be. I mean,
Tony's school is called
Pickens County.
Pickens County High School.
But you got like Tuscaloosa County. You have Jefferson County.
I'm,
you have
I'm
Wright
just
County.
saying. So
Those
I'm
are big.
just
Those are
saying.
big schools.
Yeah,
Mine was small.
but Pickens County just see Tuscaloosa County sounds like a jail. Pickens County sounds like you got 6 dudes and like 5 other guys that are just out here with jerseys on playing football.
That's where 6 Man started. That's how he got here.
Shoot. That's why I play both ways. I didn't have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
All right, and then the last one before we get into the Tennessee game, you can make this as long as an answer or short an answer as you want. Justin says, guys, we gave our over-the-top take last night on the Bama Standard regarding Will Anderson saying the team had an anxiety. What's your take?
And what was?
No,
I didn't-
anxiety? You mean like nervousness of playing against
Yeah,
Tennessee?
I didn't see the statement.
Look, that's all I got. That right there is all I got for you.
Is that Justin? Justin, what are you talking
yeah,
about?
that's him. That's Justin. You know him.
Regarding Will saying the team had anxiety.
No,
I mean, you have anxiety every week as far as that concerned. So it's not like an anxiety level is going to be higher when we go to the other one.
they played in big games
They have,
all year. You know what Rocky Top is.
right?
You know they were the number 6 ranked team in the country.
You knew they hadn't won in 15 years.
I think that's the kicker right there. You don't want to
Bryce
be. You don't
Young.
want to be the guys to finally lose, and you do anyway.
Yeah,
Bryce Young
well,
is
shoot,
back.
You can't freaking play the.
Justin also says that Tony wrestled hogs in Pickens County. That's why he became the gun safety.
Man, see, I'm gonna get you, Justin. But I don't remember. I was not this big when I was coming out of college. This is all the adult Tony.
Well, yeah.
I gotta handle my teenage boys.
Me either. I'm 25 pounds, 30 pounds, or 25, depending on which day, and how much water I had. But I'm 25 pounds over when I played in the pros.
Yeah.
Another, I guess that would be 35 pounds heavier than I was in college.
Well, that ain't that much, man. My playing weight was 220, so in pro.
I was 200.
Yeah, you was itty bitty, man. But you could fly.
You know. Okay, so let's get into this. Right. So I want to talk about. I tweeted out and I put on Instagram one video about it's either man free or the 3-read concept that they play. And I want to be able that we talk through that a little bit. And JT, we did talk about this last year, right? I think we went through this.
We did, and I was looking at it during the game, and you know, I'm always trying to add to our defensive repertoire, even in high school. And I mean, even just the thing that you had asked last year was, why do we play? We, as in Alabama, why does Alabama play outside leverage on the 2 receiver? And for the life of me, I could not understand. So I mean, this is where I was like, I Saban and his staff has forgotten more football than I'll ever know. But I couldn't think of any reasons on why you would line up outside of a 2 receiver in a spread offense.
No, so I think I'm going to go into that. I want to talk about this because I think I have some of the answers. It seemed like as good of a coach as we have, we should be able to figure this out. But I went back so I didn't get to watch the game live on Saturday because I was coming from a water polo game, a high school water polo game in San Antonio. So I had to listen to a lot of it on the radio.
I can tell you that wasn't in Pickens County.
Yeah. Hey, I'm an athletic director. I swim very well. They asked me to come step in and coach.
Oh my God.
That's not true.
Yeah.
I just
So I
broke
had to
my
go
eye
support.
stems by how hard I just rolled my eyes.
I had to go support. But I did go back. I recorded it so I could go back and watch it. And for the first half, I'm telling you, I was so frustrated.
Yeah.
Because it's so simple to me as a coach, as a player, all of it, on all the little things, it just seems like we're not doing. And I think it's just started to catch up that someone finally said, we're going to go inside on these guys. JT and I have been talking about it week after week after week after week, year after year after year after year, seems like. And finally someone said, we're just going to stick with this plan. Our athletes are just as good as theirs, where if we run a dig on them or a slant, we probably can get a little bit of separation, and get the first down.
Yep.
Okay. So what I'm drawing up for those of y'all that are listening,
So he's got a formation that is doubles.
It's a 2x2 set. Okay. Bama plays with a 4-man front.
Some people would call it a 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
10 personnel.
Yeah, 10 personnel.
Excellent. Okay. Couple backers, and then I'm going to put it cover 1 up first. Cover 1, just for simple terminology, means we're going to play with 1 high safety. Okay. It's free safety in the middle of the field. We can put these off. I don't know what they draw for a star. Do they call him another guy a nickel or just a DB or whatever?
I think he's a.
So I'm gonna call him.
We know what you mean.
Yeah, they got a nickel, and I think they call him a dime if it's actually another corner.
That's what we call him. I think they do a star now.
So typically, I'm drawing hash marks to the outside of the number 2 receiver. Number 2 receiver is the slot guy, and they're lining up outside. That's a normal alignment in cover 1, typically.
Why?
Okay. Why? Because you got the free safety standing in the middle of the field, and you do kind of want to push him there.
Yes, sir.
And one of these guys, one of the linebackers, is responsible for the back. So if he goes, which for whatever
Which we
reason,
don't do.
cover the back. So if he goes like that, he should go eat him up like this. So I'm drawing an arrow from one running back to the other, and then this guy should be a whole player,
Yep.
right? So
Which
you got
is
one,
what they would actually what Saban calls one rat.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, so now watch. So it's mirrored on the other side. These mean the dots mean got a man to man wherever they go. In cover one, you got middle free safety help and a short guy in the middle. So typically, if he runs a slant in here by the number 2 or the number 1, you're going to push him in there, and this guy should either break on the throw, try to read the eyes of the quarterback, get a big hit, something, you make the tackle.
Yep.
All right. So in the Tennessee game, what I saw that was happening was, and this could be because of anybody that has a mobile quarterback, also, JT, is that this guy was eating up one backer. This
And
guy
you got to spy
turned
the
into
other
a
guy.
spy on the quarterback, and he was climbing up into the deal trying to be able to shoot. So now all of this in the middle
Open.
is wide open. He's going deep, and he's running a slant. There's nobody in there.
Nobody.
So both of the backers are gone. If he's even a little bit late, all these new moves they give him, walking off the line, give you a little fake. He goes in there. Now this guy is vulnerable.
So now you hear Teague saying, "Why are we lined up outside in that situation?"
So why we lined up outside when you know he's a spy and you know he's covering the back? To me, all you need to do is change your alignment. Which way is the hardest throw anyway? Make them throw the
Outside.
ball outside.
Interestingly enough,
So
now,
just
now,
move in here,
yeah,
protect
move in
it.
there,
It's
protect
that
that.
simple to me. Just move inside. If you know your guys will be gone, you can do it even if you have the guy in there. Maybe that's not as sound either.
Well,
But-
as I'm watching this, one of the adjustments, because if you think about the defense, that's defensive old. I don't think I see anything you can wipe it down with.
Yeah, there's a look over there on
You got
the,
something?
some. Let's look a blue box. Blue. No, look on the floor. Blue. Looks like
Oh,
tissue.
This
Something.
well, no, not that. Use your fingers. Not that. I don't see
Some
anything.
wet wipes.
I don't see any wet wipes, bro.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, hold on.
Here we go.
He's a safety.
There we go.
Yeah.
So
there we
so
go.
the other thing is funny as you're going through this because I've been trying to rack my brain on it. The same.
Okay, so does that make sense, JT, to everybody? That was pretty easy, right?
It is.
So let me
So before you do that, we talked the adjustment that we could make. What would trigger that guy lining up inside?
away from the back. I don't know if that's what your answer
I'm
is. If
thinking-
you're
Well,
away
it's
from
probably
the back,
alignment.
Well, no.
yes, that too.
I'm
if
thinking
you're
I'm
hash
thinking
marks.
alignment, but I'm also thinking that the trigger could be the guy that's on the side of the back.
Hey, will somebody grab me a dry napkin? I don't want to do it with the white, wet one. 'cause
Yeah.
it'll-
Yeah, JT, I'm actually
No,
thinking
it's a
we
cowboy
do that
shirt, I
thing
can't-
on the side of the
can't
back,
do
so
that.
that way when he flare
So what
out,
are you saying? Go inside
I'm
here or
saying
outside?
the guy towards the back.
The guy
Side
set
of
to the back. You saying line him up
back.
inside
Slide him up inside. And that's
because you know you're losing.
He's gonna
Because you
go
know
fast.
you're probably losing that backer over
there you
there.
go. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Well,
we'll see.
and that depends.
That depends.
I think that depends on the running game because you get so much of this that if you're reading with the backers, he'll end up taking the running back because they go across or they do the behind all this crazy shit.
Yeah, but in the past, I think they're only vulnerable for that flare out. Really.
All right, so
yes,
one of the things-
Kerry, you can jam a receiver. Our corners jam all the time. The problem that you have is those the cover downs or the star or the nickel. Anybody who's got the slot, it is very difficult to jam because he's not actually on the line. He's actually 1.5 to 2 yards off the ball. So
What? Oh, I thought someone. So let me draw this up. Trips. One of the problems with cover one and trips, right? It shows your hand.
Yep.
JT and I were just talking about this, and they actually went in the bunch. So bunch means that they're very, very tight in here. And so what Tennessee did is they actually had the running back over here.
Yep.
All right. So just picture the DB that was over here came over here because he still got him man. You got the star, got him man. The corner got him man. So you're soft over here, right? So backer still has this guy. If he goes that way, he's going to take him.
Yep.
So I got trips to the right. For those of y'all that are listening, if you're looking at the board, the back is set towards the one receiver side. So the backer to that side has that running back, and then this guy is the spy or the hole player. So it looks exactly the same. All these guys still have man. They should be outside technique,
And
not on the
they're
same
usually going to
level.
filter that, right? I mean, the corner's going to take first guy out, nickel's going to take first guy in, and then the dime has.
Don't get ahead of me yet, because that's
Okay.
another call. This is just straight man. We call okay. So we're going to play lock it. There's 3 calls. So they say, hey, lock on your guy.
Yep.
Don't switch, don't change, don't do anything. You got your guy. So what Tennessee did is they know how we were, and they actually did something different. So they would move the running back from the
From
single
far
receiver side
to near.
and make it to near. So all 4 guys are on the same side. What does that do to the backers? Bump them over even a little bit more,
Overload.
right? This guy is still outside leverage. They did a fake toss this way, like boot. So naturally, everybody who has to be the contain man out of this set
It's got to be the corner.
got to be the corner. Well, he's got man, and he's got to be the force guy, right? So they fake it. Everybody's flowing hard this way. This guy goes behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's always nasty.
The number 3 goes behind the line of scrimmage. So your nickels running over here to try to get in on the tackle. They're not even blocking the end. He boots out. And it's the exact same deal that they did in the Cowboys game. For y'all to watch Cowboys game with the Eagle game, they kept throwing it to A.J. Brown. This is the exact same play. They're college offense that they're doing with Jalen Hurts. So this defensive end, or Micah Parsons now, is standing there, and he's got to worry about, do I take the quarterback or do I take this guy? Because this guy is late, and they're already running, right? Also, what they did, because he's running, so now he's dragging on the backside like this. So both of these guys are wide open.
Yeah, buddy.
He's got to make a choice. He's got to go get this guy, but we still don't have anybody for that. So they dump it down. They're running him off. He's going up the field. So they do have calls where this guy is supposed to try to jam this guy, but he's in a bad spot because he can't get to the quarterback. You don't have enough guys.
Because you got an athletic quarterback.
Yes. So the evolution of the running quarterback makes this extremely hard to do. So this is what JT was talking about, going in and out, changing different calls. But right now on the locket call, which we do some, because you got to switch it up.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they had a hand signals or whatever it was, or we were just stubborn. They were having issues with this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions from either one of y'all on that? Okay.
Put that in English now.
No habla inglés, homeboy. That's right, I don't. So, I'm sure you got that. I know you got that, Mike. All right. Okay, so let's stick with. Is there any other cover 1 question? Because that's pretty simple. It all applies to.
Yeah, well, I have one just in general, because I understand.
What's the formation?
It can be doubles. That's fine. Doubles, I think, makes the point easier.
Okay.
So you've got those guys outside leverage, and we talked about why, because you've got a safety in the middle of the field, and you think you have a backer playing rat in the hole.
Likely.
Yes.
But why not? So my thought is, like, why not just line them up inside anyway? Because now you have insurance if you get beat inside, and you just take it away and you just force the out route. Why funnel when you don't need to? We've already talked about that's the easy throw. Slants are easy. Digs are easy. Drags are easy. Out routes are hard. That's a far throw.
Okay, so one of the other things, I agree with you. I think that should happen. But I do think that the hash mark should still play a part of it, meaning if he's in here tight.
Well, if he's in there tight, then yeah, I get
Don't get
that. Then,
inside.
but your typical alignment, I'm saying like if I'm
they're
just
lined
drawing
up
up a scenario. Balls in the middle of the field, slots are on the hashes. Why would we still be outside leverage? Like, why not just protect yourself?
I would go head up to inside depending on how talented they were and how good their coverages were. I'd give it based upon who the guy was.
But to your point, I think the hashes do play a part, right? Because if I'm on a far hash versus a near hash, obviously that line to be different.
Yes,
right?
so he's saying if the ball is over here on the right hash and
right,
that guy's way out there,
and you still have a significant split, right?
Move inside.
Yeah, but it makes you move inside.
Yeah, and I agree with that, but that wasn't happening.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Because it seems like, to me, it seems like, and this is what I was worried about, what I was thinking about. Is like the only reason I think that you would still be outside in the scenario is if you are scared to death of him running away from you on an RPO bubble.
Okay, so when he's saying RPO bubble, he's talking about this guy going like that. He's either going to
you gotta chase him down,
or
but
he's gonna block him.
or push crack.
He's got to go under or over. So for those of y'all that listen to it and can't see his drawing, so I just drew the number 2 guy running sideways, basically towards the line of scrimmage, and the outside receiver blocking one of the defensive backs, which is very common, right, for them to do. Fake the run this way, raise up, throw the ball to him, let him be an athlete.
So we got a couple of questions here. It said lining up like this, where do you want 31? Which you had a 4-2-5 look here, which I think with Dallas Turner and Williams, he
goes away from the back.
They are ends, but they're actually outside linebackers. I think I can't remember what Saban calls it, but Dave Aranda calls it peso, where it's actually a 2-4-5 because those guys are actually linebackers. That's why he does drop into coverage sometimes, but so he's really just a rush outside linebacker. But you're saying away from the end or away from the back,
because you should think about how many times he's actually hit the mesh at the. Just think about all the plays that when he's handing it off like this, and they are, well, I guess it's
Dallas Turner's on the 15's on the other side.
Yeah, he would be the other side. So he would be over here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because I mean they're going
to go this way.
They're going to shift the wheel.
Right, and then he's coming unblocked.
Yep.
So that's why he's getting there so fast, and he has to decide: do I take the running back or do I take the quarterback when he pulls it?
Right.
Because remember, he's supposed to have the running back.
So
but there's a call between these two. So if they get zone away from 31, he's going to attack. He's just going to try to go blow it up.
Yeah, I think they're telling those guys off the edge to run, to take dive, right? Like he's not even.
And he's going to go this way. So it contradicts what you're trying to do because they have to be able to tell the difference between run and pass. Because he has to take the quarterback out, the linebacker has to take the
that seems tough.
Out the back door.
It's almost, I mean, what the RPO has created in my mind is created the old school like veer option route.
Well, he can't go there.
He can't go there. Yeah.
He can't go there.
He can't go there.
He has to take slow steps. So they teach him. You teach the linebackers basically shuffle, see what's going on, bounce back out once you realize that it's a read because he's going to cut back anyway.
Yes.
If it's an inside run and front side A. Jameer and all those guys are real good at it. Slow to, fast through, right? So he can't overrun the ball.
Which I think is why you see a lot of teams going in that tight front anyway.
It almost forces your backside in this case, to engage and read versus getting aggressive.
Right.
Because you open up another lane of opportunity. Yeah.
So I spoke to a coach about this. I can't give his name because it's someone I talked to for some of my analyst stuff. And he said they actually teach different is they actually teach where we used to do that, where this guy would put his hands on the tackle and slide
he's
with
talking
it.
about the 5 technique for those you can't see. The guy outside of the tackle.
Will Anderson, so they would teach him, put your hands on the tackle, ride him down, look in the backfield, so when the quarterback comes out, you would take him. and everybody else just had to get the running back. Let the two backers go.
See,
get the
I like that better.
running backs.
Yeah,
Go get the
yeah,
running
I do
backs.
too.
I feel like that's easier. That's easier to cover up. Now you have to have faith in your end that he's actually going to be able to run down a quarterback.
It depends
but-
on, and so that's what they're saying. It depends how athletic this guy is.
Yes.
Your defensive end versus your quarterback. Can he make the tackle
Will
on
Anderson
Johnny
can.
Manziel or someone out the back door? Because if you miss him, these guys are running off. They're running bubbles. They're doing
Yeah.
stuff. Now you're counting on your free safety.
Free safety. All right, so
And
we
this
have another question from AJ. Should we put more pressure on Hooker, or was having a spy the best thing we could have done?
Say what? Say that
Put
again.
more pressure.
Yes. Should we put more pressure on Hooker, or was having a spy the best thing we could have done? So basically, what I'm hearing, because this is kind of something I saw towards the end of the game, was trying to get pressure with 4 instead of bringing an extra backer or a hot blitz.
Well, I think, and Teague can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think one of the reasons we're talking about the coverage and how they're lining up is if you manage the back end properly, that's another form of pressure,
It is.
right? So in our scenario, we knew. I mean, we have an internal clock as well in terms of knowing like by the time the lineman should be getting to the quarterback. But what we're saying is the basic side of the coverage was not executed properly.
Yeah,
to
because
where
you
any
had
pressure was
guys
not working.
literally running wide open.
Yes.
So
Yes.
let me talk about that.
Yes.
Okay. Going
We
back to the
are
2x2
overtime,
set.
by the way.
Yeah.
But keep going.
I'm sorry. And Tony, if you got a bell, just let me know. So, all right. So let's talk about some calls that they put on that. So there's 3 calls, and it changes by team or scheme, but for this purpose, I'm going to call it a top hat, in and out, and then the locket. So we already talked about a locket, right? So let's just pretend there's 2 guys out here. So this is what we were getting from Tennessee. 2 guys, they're kind of close lined up.
Well, they
each
were
other. So-
stacked a lot of times.
yes, right? Okay, so it doesn't matter. This guy, if he's right behind or shaded to the left or whatever, one guy's going to be up, and the other guy's going to be back. And then they're giving these
And
calls.
see, and
Lock
I didn't
it.
like the alignment you just drew from the nickel in the corner. I don't like it.
No. Okay, so I'll briefly get into that because you can go into the debate. Because of these calls, they have to make them look the same. So it goes back into the same principle. They have this guy, they'll pretend like he's your number 1 guy is outside of the number 2, but close to him. So they still have this guy lined up in this kind of set.
Yeah, so the
'Cause you
nickel
could
is
have-
outside shade of the receiver on the line of scrimmage.
Yes. So if they call Lockett, he would cover this guy. It would be normal cover 1, and he would cover him, right? Or in and out is when you switch guys, right? So which one of the guys typically goes on the short route, right? Typically the guy behind the ball.
Mhm.
This guy's kind of pick or do whatever, get up the field. He's running a slant or something or anything like that. So they go in and out, and now it's an all eye game because he's got to be impressed. But see this guy coming inside, he has to come off the nickel, who's on the number 2 guy, takes the number 1. Then he takes the corner, takes the number 2 guy. So this was a problem with us because now our corner is now outside this guy, right? And so he ran the dig. So he's in the same predicament. These guys are caught up in the line of scrimmage. Free safety's back here deep. He just running away from the guy.
Yep.
Exact same.
Exact same thing.
It's the exact same.
But it's the same principle too.
It's the exact same principle. And all they're trying to do is say, well, we're going to send them both inside.
Yeah.
One of them's going to come free. You can go shallow, right?
Yeah.
Because these guys are going to be up here We run him on a bubble. We bring him up and block. He's going to hug you. You just look like you're going to run a little bit. He's coming up. We got issues.
Yep.
Okay. So that's the in and out. The top hat is the one that's the easiest way for me to say it is basically in this scenario, the nickel, that's the guy lined up on the number 2 wide receiver. The guy that's pressed will always take the short one.
Always take the short one.
Right? He will always take the short one, regardless.
Yep.
So, however it plays out, if they're both coming up now, they're getting fancy. They're running switch routes, and that's what happened on the video that I got sent you guys.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and the hard part is you can't even get hands on that guy behind
this
him.
one. The
Yeah,
number 1.
you can't get hands on him. So that was going to be
Pre-release.
my question coming in is like if you've got, a true 2x2 set and both receivers are stacked on both sides of the field. Like my thought is, hey, maybe you have to get out of man because it just seems too difficult to sift through that quickly, especially if they're wide. Because on one of those, they're standing on the sideline basically.
Yeah, you're gonna.
I would come inside. I would move him way inside.
Mm-hmm.
You can go 3 read, check it, or press up and have him off and inside of both of these guys. Because you got to play the boundary now. Hey, I remember there's a boundary out here too.
Yep.
If he wants to run a spot route, you got to come and make a tackle.
Yep.
If he comes inside, it comes right to you. If he goes outside, just go out there and get him.
Yep.
So I don't feel like we have enough variance in our coverages because then that gets harder when you add this, and that's when they start get you and they get the trips, any type of trips.
Yep.
Right? And whether the nickel comes over or they put this guy over the top some, or really what they were trying to do, what we were doing, put it back over here, is he was reading, he would open the number 3. So number 3 is hardly ever covered up if you look at the film.
Yep.
Right? So
Which
this
is
guy's
typical,
out here.
right? You've got your nickel trying to get hands on the slot. You tell your backer to open a wall 3 just in general, right?
That is typical. Sometimes when you get in the pros, I think we might have did it in the Bama game a couple times. They'll take Will Anderson or a backer type guy.
Or Micah, what you saw in Dallas.
So-
Micah that will drop out here.
So are they doing a sim pressure there? Are they going to send a backer and then drop the end to try to rob that? Or are you saying that they're not sending a backer and they're only sending 3-man pressure?
Yeah,
dropping
they'll
it?
send one of the backers.
Okay.
One of the backers. So one has to go that way.
Right.
in this
He'd
scenario.
go that way. You drop
And he has to
the
wall
end
on the 3.
and just get a sim pressure on.
They'll tell him he's just walling 3. He not. If he comes inside, you got to eat him.
Yeah.
But you got to have a athletic guy like a Michael Parsons or Will Anderson or something of that nature.
But again, I have to stress the reason it's gotten so complicated now is because that athletic quarterback.
Yes.
That has changed the whole dynamic.
Yeah, if you got a Peyton Manning, then you don't even have to worry about it.
Peyton Manning, yeah, it's timing. But now the clock that you used to have, right, is extended. There's no such thing as 3 seconds and the ball is out anymore.
Right.
Right.
He said there's no time for so, and then that changes when you go to empty.
Yeah. Yeah.
They do with Jalen Hurts and he's running back because you still got quarterbacks
Still
that can
got
run the
quarterback
ball.
that can run the ball. So you can't
So
free up
people
your linebacker.
start moving out the back
Yeah,
and you're moving your linebackers out.
And what's still open? The middle.
The middle of the field is still wide open.
That's where the defenses are vulnerable.
And then they're getting inside your linebackers.
Yep.
So, what do we call it? Stutter on the mic.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. Stutter on the mic. So if there's a backer, single backer in here, maybe he's coming in here. He's already going to run past that guy. He stutters and goes right past him. Then they throw him the
That's
ball.
Tyreek Hill's.
Tyreek Hill, all that.
Bread
You
and butter
can't
right
cover
there,
them, little
brother.
guys. You get out
Forget
of the way,
about
and they do something. So it's very, very. It's simple, but it's complicated. Simple is, and like JT said, just move inside, right, and force them to throw the ball outside. The other piece we talked about last year, which I still talked about, is we don't get in phase. We don't do lick and lean. concepts at Alabama anymore. We play the back shoulder ball
back shoulder
all
ball.
the time,
Yeah.
which frustrates me to no end when you do that upfield because you get PIs on short throws because you can't find the ball and you run into receivers.
Yeah, so I want to remind me after the show, because there's a video I wanted to send you, and I guess I'll send it to both of you. They were kind of going through some of that technique that they're showing. That
For looking lean,
no, not looking lean. The
back
way
shoulder.
the back shoulder, but then how to turn and play the ball when the hands go up to avoid the pass interference. Which, by the way, at the end of the game, that interception that
It
Jordan
ain't that
Battle
easy.
had was, I thought it was textbook, but the refs disagreed on that.
You got to go up. You can't go through.
Go through.
You can't. So you got to go up with your hands and not through. Is part of the problem. So this kind of evolved a little bit because you really only used to play that style down in the red zone because there's so much fade stop
Right.
Mhm.
in the red zone. So now they just push it out and be like, well, they're throwing fade stops or back shoulder fades everywhere on the field now. So we're just going to play that,
Yeah.
which I don't know. To me, I think it's just a little bit lazy of not coaching both techniques and teaching them how to stop and come back to
You
the
know,
ball.
it's almost to the point where, one of the things I would say about a receiver covering Jerry Rice, because I had a chance to cover him. Jerry was that person that didn't put his hands up until the last minute.
Oh yeah,
So
they
you
teach
had-
wide receivers don't even put your hands up.
But so on film, there's certain receivers on film that you can do the look and lean technique on. There's others where you might have to read through the hands and play it through the hands.
Yep. Okay, let me quickly hit on this just because I said I would. 3 read. I don't know. I know we call it a color at JP2.
Yeah, don't
Oops.
give away my secrets.
Yeah, 3 read. Okay, so this is like a basketball term is where I put it. It's like a zone match. If someone comes into your zone, you end up covering a man. So it's a zone principle, but it turns into man depending on what routes they run, right? So same alignment. Should look like cover 1. I'll keep them with off. That's a star. That's a corner. So briefly try to go. I shouldn't do that. So for number 2, let's start with the number 2 guy, the nickel and the star. If they're lined up on number 2, the nickel and the star will take number 2 if he goes up the field or out anywhere. That should be his man. Only on those routes. Okay? If he goes under right now, he'll say under, let him go. Backers should take him. He goes to the flat, the nickel. All right? That makes sense, JT? Just to make sure
Yep.
for people that are listening, right? So that does a couple things with the corner because he knows he's got to see what number 2 is doing. Because if he's going up,
You got man on one now.
he's going to take him. He's got to take 1 man to man. So if he comes and runs a stop at 5, he's got to drive it. If he runs a dig, he's got to drive it. If he runs a slant, he's got to take it. If he runs vertical, he's got to take it. So it's hard on the corner, but he has to see what's going on here because he might not have any help. Right? The only way he can let him go is if he can give the call, and this is communication right now. If number 1, the outside wide receiver, went under right now, he could say in. The nickel should come off on the end. He has to squeeze back to number 2.
That's ideal.
That's ideal.
Yeah.
That's what you want,
Yeah.
right? Because you want him to be able to take it. Now you still run into some of the other problems, right? Dig route coming that way, but now you got 2 zone backers in here,
And the safety.
unless this guy goes out because he doesn't know. This guy still has to read number 3 because if he runs up the field, he goes out. The backer has to.
Which a lot of people screw up even today. Still.
That's why we're not covering the damn dude.
Exactly.
That's why we see it all the time because it's a zone principle.
Yep.
So he's thinking, oh, I heard cover 3. I just got hooked to curl.
No, sir.
Well, he just went up the field. He disappeared. He went up the field. He disappeared. So he's standing out here wide open
Nobody out there but the referee.
because he's playing zone when actuality, the linebacker has this guy man to man.
Right.
So that's why we talk about Marvin Constant and them guys for not knowing what the hell they're doing because they're just leaving guys out there wide open all the time.
Yeah, buddy.
It's the linebacker's fault pretty much all the time.
Yep.
Now that can change. See, and this is where it starts to get complicated because if 2 goes under
now.
he does the same thing. He says in. Linebacker stays here. Running back comes out.
Now the nickel's got to take him.
Yep.
Right? So there's so many pieces to it. It's complex. That's why there's no such thing as dumb jocks.
Yep.
Because this little chicken scratch y'all was seeing on the board.
Read and react.
You got to do. Now, okay, that's the basics. Now you add trips to that, JT. Now you got to check.
Yeah, now you have a little bit of a problem if you want to stay in that.
You got to check, or you can run it.
Yeah, but you have to know where your conflicts are now, though.
This backer has got issues.
Well, JT, you touched on something. In every defense, the best defensive players out there, they know where the weaknesses are.
That's how you become the best.
You don't learn that in high school, and it's very few coaches that do a good job teaching the athletes where the weakness is to allow you to play to your strengths.
Yes, because their rules are the same here,
Yes.
unless they teach something
Unless
different.
they teach something different.
Unless they say we're taking you out of it, you become the corner, you become the safety. You know,
Yep.
I don't like to play 3 read out of this. I'll check to some kind of trip.
Check out of that, baby.
So 3 read check. Something.
Why? Because it's not your strength in that case.
No, because you run into problems. Because it runs into stuff JT noticed when he was watching the film with them is people start moving over too much this way. They start.
Then you get that speed option on the backside, and you got a problem.
Coming out the
Yes,
side. You don't have
sir.
enough guys
No,
unless
sir.
you leave him back here.
Man, we got hit on that on game 1.
Yep, you gotta leave him back here because if you go cover 1 and he comes over,
Yeah.
you got problems.
Yep.
That's why you need to leave him.
Yeah, you also got problems if you then go to the too high and you don't have a safety that actually knows how to come down and hit nobody.
So
You might as well.
Just
Yeah, and that guy on the open side to the single receiver, if he's not a good run read and he's shuffling, you still got a problem.
Yeah, see, JT, in this case, this is when sometimes I used to go outside the what the coaches tell me to do, and I would scout that thing. I would come down and and come down hard now and let the corner shift back.
when he said sky, that means he would zone it up
Yep.
automatically.
And that's some things I would make I would make that call by myself.
Well, sometimes players got to be, man, you the one out there playing. What are y'all doing?
I'm like,
hey, man,
no,
I protected myself.
I'm protecting myself.
So that's kind of the deal. The last point is, y'all can tell me if I'm wrong, but I made this statement is we don't really alternate our nickel and our star with a true corner. They leave them as safeties. We don't really sub 3 corners. We're playing
Right.
2 corners. We're playing 2 corners and 3 safeties.
Yeah, I can't speak to that. I hadn't saw enough, but I think what's
Well,
causing that is because a lot of the safeties that we currently have came in as corners.
Okay, and
So
maybe that's the
I
deal.
think that's what's going on.
Yeah,
Well,
that could be true.
It just seems
but I-
like
but
because
I
your
could be
safety
wrong.
keeps getting beat.
I could be wrong, but I think you have that dynamic where they've been playing.
Because
both
when these
ways.
guys flip and they got their best guy in here on your safety,
Yeah,
not saying
I
we
think-
can't cover them.
I
But it's a
think
different
what the problem is, and why it is that way is because that they expect that nickel to be sometimes to be a box defender and somebody that they can send to help with pressure.
But that's situational
This
football.
situation.
I
know when people
understand.
go fast and you can't get in and out, that's one thing. But when they start subbing, somebody up in the box should be saying nickel, dime,
Yeah, you would think.
base.
You would think.
something. Try to find the best matchups. Put your best cover guys.
In 10 or
Yeah.
11.
Well, they got spoiled with Minka Fitzpatrick because he was able to do both,
Okay.
and they got spoiled with Eddie Jackson because Eddie Jackson was able to do both.
All right.
True.
All right. Facts. But anyway, that's a good little piece. I think we can shut it down.
Yes, we're at 9:30.
Okay.
All right.
So we went over.
9:36.
Well, we doing. Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate everyone in the bar too for checking us out. Got a good crowd out here. They want to do some karaoke here in a minute. Again, no, I'm not karaoke. I said they are going to do some karaoke. Uh, but make sure you guys give us a follow. What did this say?
I'm changing your camera
JT,
back because we
YouTube.
can't see you now. You just standing out here talking.
Oh, my bad. You hooked me up.
I tried, but you got to accept the. There you go.
There we go.
Boom. Okay. Thank you, man. I don't know, man. You know, you just taking over people's computers and stuff. Huh?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, man. Thanks for the invite, OT. This has been awesome. Always good to hang with you, man. JT, man. Awesome to man. I hadn't seen you in good Lord. Jeez.
Yep.
I mean, I was looking at the picture like, who is that guy? He was like, that's JT. I'm like, man, what?
So why don't you tell us about what you got going on? For
Yeah. So I'm the corporate guy. So I've been with Frito Lay now, PepsiCo, division of PepsiCo for 13 years. I'm a
So you in
national sales
Frisco now?
director. Yeah, I'm in Plano actually. Yeah.
Oh,
off
yeah.
Legacy. So yeah, I've been with them for 13 years. So I have that going on.
Nice.
Being good to me, and been moving through the organization, doing very well there. So personally, I got a couple things. One of my passions is always giving back to the community, and definitely former players. So I lead that, and a part of like every year we do a career fair at the Super Bowl. So I'm one of the people that go and kind of recruit for my company, but also have Marvin and I, and what I kind of share with you, we're working on a couple things that I hope to unveil pretty soon, where I think it's going to be super awesome for West Alabama as a whole. I do have a 501c3 foundation right now, Tony Dixon Foundation. You can check it out at Tony Dixon Foundation.com. Those donations go to support underprivileged kids in West Alabama. But we're about to relaunch that thing because in COVID, obviously, we held back a little bit because the other side is in that depressed environment, a lot of them don't have good internet. So the idea of keeping your foundation going remote was a challenge, right? So now that we're out of that, we're going to go full force, hot and heavy back in West Alabama again, starting next year. And we got some things that we're going to be targeting around A-Day next year, as well as football camps over the summer. So very excited about that, and excited about partnering with you on some of those things as well.
So that's Tony Dixon
Foundation.com. Yeah.
Make sure you guys get him there. And if you're on Instagram, he doesn't really do Twitter too much, but you can hit him at I am Tony Dixon.
Yep.
On Instagram.
Yep.
If you feel like reaching out to him and following out what's going on, but that's pretty cool with the stuff that he has going on with the foundation. I know he can support, and I know there's tons of people, including JT, that probably could help with some of this internet stuff or whatever that is. I don't know. You probably know enough people to
absolutely.
At least,
Yeah, I may know some people.
Yeah.
Okay, just give us 1 second. We're about to wrap it up.
Yeah,
and then we'll be done. Okay. Go ahead. Oh.
No, but George, why do it now during the season? Why can't they wait after the season for all this?
So he asked about the situation with the owners, the NFL owners, Daniel Snyder creating a ruckus, and they're having they're not even private meetings anymore.
Yeah,
I guess. So to answer your question about the wait, I think we're out of that wait period. When things break now, everything has to be urgent. You deal with race, sex, harassment, those kind of things. People expect some kind of action to be taken now.
Yeah.
Which is the right thing to do. Take action, and then whatever decision you make, that's what people got to live with. Do I think that Daniel Snyder is going to get tossed out of the league? I have no facts about anything, but I'm saying yes. I think he's going. It's a dangerous world. He. You ever heard Illuminati and all that kind of stuff? He get to talking a little bit too much. He's gonna be in a ditch somewhere.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, you messing with his bank account.
Yeah,
though.
you
So,
are. You are. Yeah.
So that's a great question, though. Should have brought that up. Thank you for doing that. So, all right, man. Well, we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna get out of here. Tony, appreciate your time. Thank you for you doing. Make sure I'll follow up with you on your other on the things that you have going on currently.
That's
I'd be interested in seeing what you can do with your camps.
Yep.
How to help. You're doing those back at home, or
They're going
those
to be
here
back at
local?
home, but it's a possibility. I do have rights to do some fundraising and things in the state of Texas as well. So I may be doing some things here. But the main focus will be on definitely, the underprivileged in Alabama first, because that's where the most opportunity is.
Well, use whatever resource you can with the NFL. Get you some of that camp money
Absolutely.
that they give and all that
Absolutely.
kind of stuff. And I love to get back and try to help some too. And plus, I don't know where Pinkston County High School is.
Pickens County is right down the street from Tuscaloosa, man. It's 30 minutes. Let me.
It's by Marengo County?
Nah, every time you went to Starkville, you passed right through. It's right off 82 going to Starkville.
Oh, okay.
It's 30 minutes away. It's literally in between Tuscaloosa and Starkville.
So y'all sell those cowbells out there in your little
Man,
county.
we don't sell no
it is.
cowboys. We don't have that type manufacturing, man.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Well, JT, we appreciate it, man. Thank you for what you do. Go get to them babies. Take care of them. We'll let Tony get back up on the road to his house. And I'm going to come get some of them free Frito-Lay chips or whatever he got, because I know some of them fall off the truck over there by your house.
Ain't nothing free. I don't even get a discount.
All right, man. Well, with that, JT, I know you can't see me. Oh, I guess you can't see me because we got the other dude.
Mhm.
We are saying deuces. We out of here.
Absolutely.
Peace.